this one, like, these cats are blowing my mind. Like, they are totally breaking the mold of anything I've ever thought. Like, I never knew of cats to really be, like, protective and guarding, especially of, like, a group of people.
Yeah. I mean, or anything other than themselves.
That's true.
But
yeah, I mean, they're amazing. And I also learned the hard way, you cannot eat tilapia or tuna for lunch.
Oh, yeah.
I have a picture.
Not with a bunch of cats in the hospital.
No. I have a picture of one of them. She's like peeking around my lunchbox, like eyeballing my tilapia. Oh, and then the baby, not baby, but the little kitten that we have, I had tuna one day, and I turned my head, and I luckily had a little piece on a spoon, and he put his head in my bowl and like licks the tuna off the spoon, and I was like, but luckily he didn't touch anything but that piece of tuna. And I was like, well, here's your freaking tuna. I was like, here, you win a piece of tuna, now back off my food. So I had to like shovel in the rest of that meal.
Oh my gosh.
I'm like, I can't like even try to eat healthier on you guys.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Cats. It's funny, you said that you were like a dog person, right? Like growing up. I mean, we had dogs, cats, chickens, like all kinds of weird stuff growing up. So I like loved all animals, but I always loved cats, right? So I was thought that I liked all of them, but I was really close to the cats for whatever reason. And then I become a vet tech, and I'm like, oh, I still love cats, you know, even though some of them can be cranky and be jerks and, you know, whatever.
I have only ever been bit by a cat.
Right. And so that's what I was going to say. Like, the only time I literally had to go to the hospital was when I don't know if you've seen Pet Sematary, but that they have like a gray cat. It was a Pet Sematary gray cat that turned around and latched onto my hand and attacked the crap out of me. And from that point on, I was like, nope, I'm more of a dog person now. So it just makes me laugh because like I love all animals, but I am too more of a dog person now because I'm like, cats scare the shit out of me.
I was so scared of that cat. I had to keep it in the kennels after that, and I'm like, you're telling me I have to come in here daily and change his bedding and reach my arm in there and get no. I would like have to put up a towel because they had like the condos where they could like walk through 2 different parts. So I like put up a towel and I'm like, you stay over there.
Oh my god, yeah, man, they're scary sometimes, and they're fast.
Oh my god, they're so fast. Cat-like reflexes is not a joke.
No, it's pretty legit.
It is.
It's pretty legit. That's funny, just in general.
I know, like guard cats. Like, who would have thought of it?
Not me. I have some guard dogs, that's for sure.
Well, on top of the guard dogs, I've also had guard cats. I've also had some super smart dogs. Like, when I worked in the kennels, I had a lab puppy. I mean, it was big, so it was maybe about a year old. And it literally knew how to open the door. It just hadn't figured out to push as it pulled down the handle.
Oh, jeez.
Had it figured out that part, it literally could have opened doors for me.
Oh, and that's from a lab. I mean, they're smart, but they're kind of like cuckoo.
It was a silver lab too.
Oh, those are rare.
See? Yeah.
That's probably why. Oh, God.
Little silver labs. They're a breed on their own.
They really are.
Like, to the point, I didn't know it was a lab. I was like, that's a Weimaraner in there, right? And they asked me something. I was like, yeah, the little Weimaraner. And they're like, you don't have a Weimaraner in your kennels. I'm like, yes, I do. Like, here's the paperwork. Here's its name. And they're like, yeah, that's a silver lab, Megan.
I mean,
like,
they're
awkward.
The exact same.
Basically.
So, I don't know.
But, yeah, no. I've come into contact with some very smart dogs. And a friend of mine that works in the kennels where I work now, they had this, it's an old, like, 12-year-old German short-haired pointer. So it'd been around the block, but it figured out that if it spilled its water bowl, she'd have to open the door to clean the kennel.
Gosh.
So it would tump over its water bowl constantly. So she would have to open the door and clean the kennel. And when she would do that, it would try to escape. And then, like, that guy came to check out the dog from boarding that night, and I'm like, I pull it up and I see the age and the breed of the dog. I was like, oh, is this the smart dog? And she was like, yeah. He goes, wait. Smart dog? I have a smart dog? I'm like, your dog's a genius, dude. Like, it swindled her like 3 times today.
Oh my gosh. Dumb dogs, man.
They're hilarious.
Yeah. My 2 are too smart for their own good. I have 2 German Shepherds.
Oh, God, yeah.
So, yeah, because I kennel them when we're gone, and he constantly escapes, always. And I'm like, what? Why? Where? And then, like, his sister, well, not really his sister, but my female, she'll just be sitting in there like, well, why didn't you let me out? You know what I mean? Like, so, yeah, constantly just coming out. So we'd have to, like, double leash in, or, like, not double leash, but we'd, like, put a clasp on the door.
God.
So he'd have to be like double locked or something. Cause
I swear, I think I would have had to get like a security camera before I did that and seeing just how he did it.
No, well, that's how we found out he was doing it, but it wasn't showing us how he was doing it. Like, we would just look, and all of a sudden, he would be walking around the garage because they were in the garage at the time.
Oh, great. The dog's so smart. He's in cahoots with the camera.
Yeah. So I was like, seriously? And, like, he can also, well, they both can, like, open we have those trash cans that you have to press a button. They press the button and can open the damn trash can.
Oh, my God.
I'm like, you guys are just too much. Love them to death, but they are way too smart sometimes.
I actually have, and I cannot wait to hear your reaction to this. Inside, we have a Chihuahua.
Oh, goodness.
But he's not like, I'm the only one, like, he, like, bites, and he doesn't even break the skin. He just, like, puts his teeth on me because he doesn't want his nails clipped.
Oh.
But, like, I take him to the vet or PetSmart, and he's just like, here's my paw.
Oh, jeez.
And I'm like, you know what? Screw you, dog. I'm like, dang it, it's puppers. But like, he'll scream, especially if my dad's home, because my dad will be like, what are you doing to the dog? So, like, I get near him, and he's like, ah! I'm like, oh, okay.
I mean, Chihuahuas can be pretty smart, too.
Well, we used to try to put, like, a baby gate up and, like, just kind of confine him to my room.
Mm-hmm.
And this dog, he had a wooden baby gate, chewed through it. Had a plastic baby gate, chewed through it in one day.
Oh my gosh.
I'm like, oh my God. Like, and people want to, like, give him little toys and stuff. And I'm like, can we have the Kong Great Dane version?
Yeah, no, he'd probably chew through that.
He can't, like, he loves, like, the soft, cuddly toys, but he mutilates them. And then when we do surgery on him to sew them back together, he gets very upset. I was like, he has to be in there.
Oh.
And we're like, all right, well, you can't get near the needle. So he'll, like, sit there and just watch. Oh. And, like, if you try to get his attention, he's like, I'm busy. No. Like, you can tell the look on his face is like, stop and focus. And, like, we sew his little loveys back together and give it to him. And he's like, he'll, like, lick them. Like, I'm so sorry you went through that.
Oh.
And I'm like, but you're the reason they went through it.
Oh my gosh. That's how mine are. They like those squishy toys, but they'll just destroy them. I'm like, what is the point? And they're like $10 or whatever, depending on what you get. So I'm like, I'm not getting you anymore.
No. God. Do your dogs pout?
My female does. Yeah. She also holds grudges if you, if you punish her. Because she kind of never gets punished because she's, the baby of the house. And, so yeah, she'll pout, or she won't make eye contact with you, or she won't let you pet her. So yeah, she does that occasionally.
My Chihuahua does that. Like, the first time my dad was home with him, and he was really worried. He called us really worried. He's like, I can't get Jax. Like, we have this dining room table, and Jax will go, like, all up in it and, like, kind of hide between the chairs. And he's like, I can't get Jax out from under the dining room table. I think something's wrong with him. He hasn't come out all day. And so we come home to help him, and he's like, oh, hey, Mom. Hey, Mama. Like, how you doing? And my dad's like, what? What happened? And I'm like, did you do anything? My dad's like, what was it? It was something stupid, too. It was like, he had told him not to do something or whatever. Like, very, very basic. That dog got so butthurt, he would not talk to him the rest of the day.
Oh.
And even now, like, he just had one of his little fits the other day. He got mad because my dad was like, you have to poop on your pads. Like, you can't just poop, like, wherever you want. That's gross.
Right.
And, like, the dog would go under the table. He pouted the entire day.
Oh, jeez.
And the only way to get him to come out is if you go to him. He will not come to you no matter how much you call him. You have to go over there to him and, like, coerce him out. And then he will come out of the table and love on you, and he will stare down the person that made him mad the rest of the day.
Oh, my God.
I'm like, oh, is this real life?
Oh, my gosh. No, that's totally true. One time I took Kimber, is my female, so she wasn't feeling well. She has, like, a sensitive stomach every once in a while, because shepherds do. And so I was, like, panicked because she was, like, acting weird, and so I spent money and took her to the hospital, and basically they were just like, there's nothing wrong with her. She's fine. She just wanted to get out of the house because she was fine when I got there. And I was like, so I just paid for you to tell me that she's a shepherd, basically. Thanks. So
nice.
Yeah. I mean, there really wasn't. Like, she has a history of having, like, pancreatitis and all this other stuff, so I thought for sure she was going to have that. But when she got there, they said that she looked fine, and I was like, you little shithead. Like, oh my God. I just, who runs who in the house is what I want to know.
Oh, it's definitely their world.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you have any favorite breeds, like, from working with them?
Working with them.
Like, for example, mine was always labs. I started working with them, and literally every exploratory surgery I've ever seen, been a part of, or heard about in the time at all the clinics that I've been at has been on either a lab or a retriever, like a golden retriever or a lab. Mm-hmm. And they're like, well, so-and-so patient ate something, and I'm like, lab? And they're like, yep. I'm like, yep.
Yeah. Nuh-uh.
So now I'm like, I don't know if I want another lab.
I will say that it's definitely kept me from certain breeds. Like you said, lab, always eating stuff. Well, I don't know. I'd say, what is my favorite? I mean, I do like labs. I really like Goldens. I think they're always usually pretty nice, pretty friendly. And then, I mean, obviously I like German Shepherds. Because they're easy. I've always had them. But, I don't know. I don't know if I really have a favorite one, but I will say that working in the field has kept me from owning a lot of breeds. So.
Yeah. I actually, one of the most well-behaved patients I've ever had was a Doberman.
Yeah. They're pretty nice for the most part.
Yeah, like, I'm a big nature versus nurture person, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, like, I could pretty much do a whole episode on talking about my opinion on that alone.
Yeah.
But 9 times out of 10, I'm a like full-on pit lover. Like, I've seen way more good in the breed than I have bad.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think they're very stereotyped and misunderstood, but again, another soapbox that I could probably do a whole episode on.
Right.
But working in the kennels, there was 2 breeds that I fell in love with. My first time, like my first week, they're like, all right, here you go. This dog's super aggressive, by the way. I'm like, God bless. And it was a little American Eskimo.
Oh, they're fluffy.
It was so fluffy and white. It was so cute.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're like, he's very aggressive, blah 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 blah. And another girl goes, if you just go slow, he's not that bad. So I would take my time with him, and he was wary of me at first, but I finally was able to gain his trust, like the week that I kept him. And they were so smart. Oh my God. Like, he did this thing when he would get excited, he would like spin around in a circle. And so every morning I'd come in for work and he would just start spinning in his kennel. And I was like, oh my God, that's heartwarming. And so I would teach him, I was like, do the spin. And he'd start spinning. Every time I would say, do the spin. And I was like, I just taught you a trick in like 3 days flat.
Oh, how funny.
I mean, you did it, you learned it yourself, but I like taught you the words.
Right.
And I would just like sit in his kennel sometimes